Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Ben Bahari here, represent Bahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC and the entire basketball community. If you want more basketball content, we're going to have basketball conversations on a regular night at Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. It's basically where I discuss basketball related topics, news, debates, and everything else in the world of basketball. And starting this upcoming Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time, I will resume my documentary series of the historical perspective where I review, great players, playoff series, anything you want me to talk about relating to the world of basketball. So just thought you guys let you know off the rip. I will return with my historical perspective videos starting Monday at 9 p.m. Central Time. Now listen, I had to literally do this video here because I was literally laughing my behind off when I heard about this. Apparently, you know, and salute to clutchpoints.com, there is a petition out there that's started by some dumb fan that's basically trying to say that Kyle Kuzma shouldn't get a championship ring. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. When I heard about this, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And then ClutchPoints.com had the link, literally had the link, and pretty much showed and pretty much explained these dumb fans that are starting a petition that pretty much are trying to convince people that they should sign this petition to make sure that Kyle Kuzma don't get a ring. And here's the worst part: at least over 5,000 people have already signed this weak petition. All right, and they're trying to get to 7,500 signatures. Really, really? Let me tell you something right now, you guys. The self entitlement of these fans are just beyond ridiculous. All right, now Kyle Kuzma did not have a very, particularly, good year to his standards. All right. But let's make this very, very clear. Okay. When you're playing with LeBron James, when you're playing with Anthony Davis, all right, your stats individually are going to drop. That's just the facts. All right. If Kyle Kuzma were playing for any other team right now, he would be averaging at least 20 to 23 points a game. All right. This year he only scored at least 12 and a half points per game. All right. After scoring 16 points per game in his rookie year. All right. And 18 points a game in his second year. All right. And remember this, during the season when LeBron James and Anthony Davis, sat out due to injuries in Oklahoma City, Kyle Kuzma had 36 points. Listen, if Kyle Kuzma were playing for any other team right now that needs him to get his touches to get his points off, all right, he would be averaging at least 23 to 25 points a game because he's a high value scorer. All right. But if you're asking him to try to spot up and hit 3-point shots, that's not his role. All right. He is not going to be a guy that you can trust upon to spot up and hit, open 3-point shots, even though he can shoot from 3-point range very well, shooting 33%. So he's not a bad 3-point shooter, but that's not what his game is. All right. But when you're playing with LeBron James, typically the third wheel sees an individual dip in their stats. You can go all the way back when LeBron James, linked up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. All right. When Chris Bosh, had his first season with the Miami Heat. This was his first year with the Miami Heat. When basically they had brought in LeBron James. Okay. Remember, in Toronto, he was averaging nearly between 23 to 24 points per game. In Miami, his stats dropped to 24 points per game in his final season in Toronto to 18.7. All right, that's almost an equivalent of what, a 4 to 5 point, point drop in his stats. All right. Now listen, Chris Bosh right now is one of the most underrated players in NBA history and will be in the Hall of Fame someday. All right, but let's make this very, very clear. Okay, Chris Bosh was a dominant player in Toronto. He was the centerpiece after the Raptors traded away Vince Carter. Okay, when Bosh played with LeBron James, of course you're going to see the individuals drafting their stats. He sacrificed a lot. He could have played for any other team and would have put up 25 to 26 points per game with any other team, but he sacrificed that to win some championships, and it paid off. All right. Let's look back at Kevin Love. All right. Let's see. Kevin Love. All right. When he was in Minnesota, okay, when Kevin Love was playing with the Minnesota Timberwolves early on in his career, he was considered one of the best power forwards in the NBA. In his 6 seasons in Minnesota, he was averaging 19.2 points per game. But his best year was in 2012 when he was averaging 26 points per game and made the All-Star team. All right. When he got to Cleveland, when he was basically traded from Cleveland in 2014 for Andrew Wiggins, he was scoring 26.1 points per game in his last season in Minnesota. When he got to Cleveland, his points dropped 10 points down to at least 16.4. You wonder why a lot of these fans are going to basically call them out. They say calling them bums and all that stuff. When you're playing with LeBron James, when you're the third wheel of a big three or a big two, you're going to see a dip in your stats. That's just the bottom line. Chris Bosh, okay, Dwayne Wade to somewhat of a certain extent, all right, and then also with the exception of Kyrie, Kevin Love's experienced the same thing. All right. So it's not really fair to call these guys bums when they have to basically sacrifice their own individual stats to basically percolate to what LeBron is looking for in the promise of a championship. All right. The same thing applies when it comes to Kyle Kuzma. And when I see a lot of these dumb, idiotic fans in social media creating this kind of BS around there, that lets me know you don't know anything about basketball. All right. You literally do not know anything about basketball. And listen, I'm not gonna post the link or anything like that. I'm not gonna promote that kind of garbage. All right, because at the end of the day, this was wrong with a lot of you self-entitled fans. You don't look at the stats. You don't watch the games. All right, you just go off of emotion or just off of reaction instead of using your logical brain and think how is the team is constructed. All right, remember if the Lakers would have gone through and traded Kyle Kuzma, all right, he would be balling his ass off. All right. He would have more opportunities. He would have better chances to score. All right. And proved himself to be one of the better two guards in the NBA. I firmly believe that. When Luke Walton was here, all right, when Luke Walton was coaching the Lakers, of all the things he did wrong, the one thing he didn't know how to do correctly was play Kyle Kuzma. And you saw what he was capable of when he had the opportunities to be and to pretty much get most of the judges when LeBron was pretty much injured towards the latter half of the year when they missed the playoffs. All right. But when Frank Vogel became coach, you saw Kuzma's minutes decrease. You saw him not having any opportunities to get any of his regular old touches. All right. And when you sit there and you watch these games and you're like, why isn't Kuzma not being aggressive? Why are you taking it? Why are you guys seeing the little points from him? Listen, how many minutes did he play on the floor? He would play at least between 20 to 25 minutes a game and not get any opportunity to get some touches. Okay? Look, you fans need to cut that out. All right? And the Lakers are not going to take this seriously. They're not going to take this dumb, idiotic petition seriously. They're, it's laughable. It's beyond laughable. Every player is going to have their championship win, which includes Kuzma. So you know what? The Lakers are going to do what they've done well. Just ignore the damn thing. Don't even acknowledge it at all because it's not even a huge issue. All right, it's it's just beyond pettiness from a lot of these LeBron fanboys and a lot of these NBA trolls that think they know basketball, but they really don't. All right, listen, Kyle Kuzma may leave in the next few years and play somewhere else. All right. Now he will get his championship ring. There's no denying that. But here's the thing: if Kyle Kuzma had any other opportunities to play to score for any other team, he would do better. All right. It's the system that he's being put under that's not allowing him to play up to his full potential. That's just the facts of the matter. All right. And a lot of these idiotic fans that want to come around here thinking they know basketball, talking about why this dude a bum and all that, without watching the game, without watching the actual stats of how things were going down. All right, it it just shows me that you really do not know basketball. You really don't. And when I hear that, I just either block you or just shun you and ignore you because you clearly don't know basketball. All you're doing is just exposing your own individual bias. That's just the facts. All right. So at the end of the day, whoever is that fan that started that idiotic petition, you're a low life, you're an idiot, you're a loser, and for you to start a dumb bogus petition over what for nothing, man, get out of here, bro. You're garbage. All right, you're just straight up garbage. All right, Kyle Kuzma would play better if he played for another team. But he's playing for the Lakers. He's playing with one of the greatest players of all time in LeBron James. So yeah, he's going to experience a dip in his stats when you're not getting opportunities to get some touches or get any catches to pretty much show what he's capable of. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I don't get why these fans want to sit around here and try to play this kind of game. I kind of do, but I'm not going to go further into detail because I don't have the time and the energy for it. But that's just my 2 cents of the whole thing. I mean, that petition is just ridiculous. All right, it's beyond ridiculous. And don't ask me to post the link of that petition yet. You guys find it at clutchsports.com in their article, and the link is in that article. I'm sorry, the link to that petition is in that article, so you can check it out yourself. I mean, it is just ridiculous, man. It's beyond ridiculous. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Peace.